So hi everybody and welcome back to the Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 109 and in this video we're talking about the node teleport. It's a very powerful node. We can use it for gameplay. For example, we want that our character runs in a portal or something like that and teleports to another place in a map, which is gameplay usage. Or we can use the teleport node also for not gameplay usage, which means, for example, you just want to hide your character or hide an item, which means under the scene. For example, I made here under the scene where I can hide anything, and then I can bring them back to the scene. And what I reach with this is, or what I get with this is that I don't have to respawn it all time. Sometimes you don't want to respawn for any reasons, the item or whatever. And yeah, and you have to think about it if this makes sense or not. In this case, in this video, I mean, we are talking about the teleport node in gameplay because we want to use it in gameplay. I want to make a portal that my character can teleport to another place, to another map, to other something. And let's get started. So first of all, I go to my game here in my content drawer, and then I select blueprints because we want to make a blueprint, which means we can reuse it in other projects and we can place it in the scene here. That's what we want. And right click it, we go here to the blueprint class, we select blueprint, then we go to actor because actor means all time we can place it in the scene, and we want to place it in the scene. And I call it blueprint underscore, the shortcut BP, and the name teleport character. In my case, of course, you can write teleport portal, teleport anything what you like, which is better. I use this one, then double click on it, and we open it up, and we are here. And in the visual place, which is the viewport, we need only one thing, and that is a collision box. So how we get this? We go here on the left side, we go to add, we write here call, and then when you write call, it pops up some options. You can go for box, capsule, or other things. I use just the collision box because my goal is that the character enters the portal, which means he enters in real this collision box, and then this collision box will say, okay, I use now the teleport node to teleport you to the next place. So we can go here and rename the name to something what you like. I call it call, like collision box, and teleport character. So I know this is the collision box who is teleporting my character. And with that said, I'm almost finished, but I have a problem. Let's show this one fast. I go to my scene and I say, okay, I place my collision box here anywhere. So I drag and drop this collision box here. Here in my editor, I see this collision box and I start. The problem is, for development purposes, this is bad. I have all time think where my thing is. So what you can do is, for development purposes, not for game, you go back to your blueprint, you go back to your viewport here, and then select not on top, you select exactly the box here. Right here in details on top, you write hidden, and when you write hidden or a little bit hid, then it comes this menu hidden in game, and this is selected by default because when you play the game, you should not see a collision box. A collision box should not visible for the player, but for development purposes, which means we are the programmer, we develop this game, I want to see this at start. And the reason is for that is when I start now the game, I turn around and I know, here is the collision box. It was not here. And then I can directly run it. That's only for development purposes, but it's very nice. And later, of course, don't forget it to reset it. For example, let me start here again. You see these boxes here on my character. I have to hidden again. This is only used for development purposes. So I can see, this one is the collision box, which will, when I spin here, which will overlap with anything or like that. So that's the same thing here with that sand. And here on top again, erase the name so you have access to all options again. And that's almost it. There is one more thing we have to do. We select again our collision box, because this collision box will call our teleport node. But before it can call our teleport node, he must get activated. And how a collision box get activated? You go again to the right side of the details panel. You scroll down, 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 and here we have events. And these events are activation events, which means this collision box will react to something or to a person or anything. So, and in my case, I want that this collision box is activated on begin overlap, which means anything is overlapping this collision box, which I have to define, then you should be activated. And this activation means here in this case, in programming case, this node here, this start node collision box will activate it. Let's call it with a comment, press C and say activate the collision box. Activates collision box after overlap. Okay, and right now I don't know what is overlapping, and we have to define now what is overlapping, because at this point we don't know. And the collision box said, hey, what should overlap me so I can activate it? And you can define this here. It says other actor, for example, or here you have more options. In our case, we are interested in the player character. In my case, it's the Infinitive Warrior. Only when he overlaps this box I want to get activated, so I drag here other actor. My other actor is my player character, and my player character is called Infinitive Warrior. And you see it says here cast to BP Infinitive. This cast means make a connection to this Infinitive Warrior. So that's enough for our programming knowledge. And you can write here a comment also, overlapping actor, something like that. This is the overlapping actor. Only if this actor is overlapping, not any other, this will be activated, this collision box here. So we have now defined who should overlap this one and all this kind of stuff, but we have of course not defined the most important part here, the teleport node. So after this one, the Infinitive Warrior is running in this box. The box gets activated here, and he recognizes, yes, you are the Infinitive Warrior. Now I use my teleport node. All right, let's write teleport, and here it's important. Here is the teleport node, and this is this powerful node which says I will teleport you to the place. But before I can teleport you to the place, you have of course say me where the place is, and you have to say me this target who I should teleport where. In my case, okay, target who should be teleported. Yes, I want that this Infinitive Warrior itself should be teleported, so I take here this one and set it to the target. And now I have to specify this place. Here I compile and save, because this place is a little bit tricky. So first of all, we have here some values, which means we can write it directly in the place. It's called hard-coded. Hard-coded means here when you write here any values in, like, oops, right values, not so anything like values here. This is bad, because then you have to come into this blueprint class again if you want to change them. Normally you don't want this, but at start we make this to see what happens. So first of all, we have to find where we want get teleported. And how we find where we got teleported, we go to our scene and say, okay, here's my box, here's my start point. Let's say I get teleported behind this stone here. I want to be teleported here anywhere, just for test purposes. And then there are many ways how you can get this position behind the stone. One easy way is you can use anything here, and all objects here in the scene has, when we go here right to the side to the details panel, are transform, and this transform here on top has this location with these values which you can read, which means this is the rock, and I want here, what I can do is just press Alt and duplicate this one. And now I have a duplicated rock, and this rock, and I go down to the details panel, go down and see, okay, this rock is at the location right now 1000, because here when I change this you see where it changed. It's right now, okay, let's say it's 1000, it's a good number, and it's at location 820. Let's say it's 800 or something like here, 800 to make it easy a little bit, or 820, 800, let's make it, and then 0. I write it 1800 to make it 0. So this is the location where I want. I go back to my character, and now we use hard-coded values. Hard-coded values, like before I said, it means I write here 1000, oops, not 100, 1000 and 800. And now this will work, or it should work perhaps. I delayed this one because this was just to get the location. And now when I start this game, and now I see where I should walk in, and it's still not teleporting me to the place. The question is why? And we go here. It's here. It should teleport me there, but it's not teleporting me there. So the problem is I have no clue. Let's compile. Let's drag this one again out, because that was before there. Let's drag this one in again. Let's try again. Where is that? Here. I go in and it is still not working. Anyhow, it is not teleporting me at all. So which means I made something wrong. Let's see what we made wrong. The other actor here, Castle BP Infinity Euphoria. We can check this with her. Is there a cast problem? I don't know. Let's see. But actually, no, it's not a cast problem, because it would go here, but the target here is not doing this one. All right. Okay, perhaps this 100, let's go here. Sometimes this one is not doing because we have here a wrong height that can cause problems. Let's see if this is the problem. Because the cast was not a problem, and you see, yes, this works. And that was interesting because, or let's say that was bad actually, because it was not giving us a real warning, or that was a little bit hard to guess, because the problem was this target, let's say my Infinitive Warrior here. Let's open it this fast up. I go here to this one. I go here to my default character, which is my Infinitive Warrior. Let's open this one up. This target here has, of course, a height, and I have not calculated this one, and that's why it caused this problem. And I thought, wait, why it's not working? And of course you have to find the right height, so, and test it that this spawns. All right, but let's continue. And that was good that this arrow was here, because could happen to you too, and you was thinking why it's not working. Good that it happens to me. Now you see this set value must be set properly. And yeah, let's write here comment and write teleports target to destination. Something like that. And yeah, we found this out. But like I said before, this hard-coded values is not really that what we want. And why we want not that? Because let's say you want to change this anyhow in your screen. And most time what they do is then they change these values with, let's call it a variable. Very simple. They make a variable of this, and this variable can be then changed dynamically during gameplay also, or set outside of this blueprint anywhere. So, and what we do here fast before we stop, which will take a little bit time, is we can use different ways. The one thing which you find often in demonstrations of teleporting, they are using the level blueprint. For example, you go here to the level blueprint, open level blueprint, and then they will try to put this, let's get rid of this one here, put this logic what I have here, not here in a blueprint, they will put it directly in the level blueprint. And the reason why they do most time this one is because they use a target point. Let's see where we get a target point. We go here to this plus sign, and then you can find it in all classes. When you, if you start typing here anything, then automatically this search bar pops up, and then you write your target point, and you can click your target point on, then you have this target point. And what they do is then this target point they use here in the scene to place it where they want. For example, I said I won't go here behind the scene. Instead, going with hard-coded values, you just place your you just place anyhow your target point at this point. Okay, and then you say, all right, here anywhere I want place it, right? Then you go to the level blueprint, and then you can use the whole thing here actually in your level blueprint. So I make here just a copy because this is exactly the same thing here. Let's copy this, Control C, level blueprint, enter, Control V. Perhaps it's not working, but we will see because this one is not working. All right, because that one is not called here. Okay, and yeah. Should I make this or just explain it? Let's continue. And then what they do is, what I wanted to show you is actually how to get this target point, because if you have a level blueprint, let's skip this functionality here a little bit. What they do is they bring this one up, they open up this one and say, okay, here is the target point which I have placed in my level, and now they will need a reference, and this reference they get with just dragging and dropping in here. And most time they use this level blueprint because the level blueprint makes this very easy, creates automatically a reference to this outliner here. But that is not working very well with the blueprint class, and that's why they use all time this target point, and later they can use this one here. You see that's not working. What they do is then just get actor location, get location, and then you can see get actor location, and they are putting this one in. And they do this only because get this reference very easy, target point reference, and of course they can code this. But the problem is you are in level blueprint, right? And the problem here is if we are in level blueprint, we can't use this like I did in my version. I want this in my blueprints, which means I want to reuse it in other projects perhaps. And we have to find a solution for this one, which means hard-coded value is one way, but of course you can find another way too. There are different ways actually. I don't know why I have not directly access to this here with a reference, but perhaps you can reference this anyhow, but right now I don't know how. And an alternative is just, or let's call it a workaround, is just you create other blueprints which you place hidden in your scene, which are target points where you can reference it. What I mean with that is, let me show it. For example, here I say, hey, oops, let's watch this a little bit there. So I need this target point, and here I have a target point. The problem is here with the normal blueprints, I can't get a reference exactly to this target point here. Anyhow, I found it not how you reference it directly. There is probably a way. I have not found it. Normally you would say, hey, why not just use what we all time use, which is get all actors of class, yes, and then just write target point. Okay, let's write it. Target point, and we have here a target point. But the problem is, okay, this is the class of the target point. Okay, I get this one. And how I get now my next point, that was my problem. Normally I need now this target point here, this target point 3, because I have here more target points and I want this one special. How I get this one here? And when I write here, for example, cast to target point, there is anyhow not a, let's say a connection there behind the scene. And perhaps there is another way. And this is not working. And that's why I showed you this other version with the level blueprint. That's why they make most time at the level blueprint, which is you place it in the level, you get faster reference, and then you have it. But like I said, we don't want that. And because we are using the oops, not this here. We have using this you should still keep this in mind that you can use level blueprints, because you can use this blueprint here as well. I don't know, as well, and then copy it to the level blueprint and something like that. But in our case, what we do is, now I show you the other way. You just create normal blueprints which are hidden in game, and then you place them here around. Let's make this fast. I go here, right click, blueprint class, actor, because actor means I can place it. And when I can place it, I have the location, rotation, this transform here. This one I will have, and only I need this one. That's why I create this blueprint class here, which I call now blueprint target, blueprint target 1, target point 1. Let's call it the first one. Perhaps you make a different one. The problem, this next problem is here what I thought, which would be cool, that I just can here add a target point, but this is also not here. But that's not wild. What you can do here is just add anything, because you just need this location, right? So add just anything what you need. And important is it should be invisible. So for example, I add again a collision box. Sorry, that's one. Then I add here a collision box again. Just for fun, you can add here anything, because a collision box is by default hidden, right? When we go here again, hit, it's by default hidden. Okay. And then you can scale this box very, very small, what you like. And yeah, and I use that. That's it. Compile, save, and I will use that one. That's it. And let's see how I make this one, how I can use this one in my game. So now I said, instead of this target point, which I can't get normally, I can get my target point, this one here. Okay, here I want teleport, right? And now you see I can see here the values as well, but I'm interested now in getting this collision box, not because not reading this one here, all for nothing. But now I can use that what we all time use to get our reference, which is get actor, get all actors of class. All right. Now I say not target point. Now I say exactly this what I created, BP target point. All right, now I have it exactly, because now that is exactly what I want. This one is now specified. This is exactly this one. And with that said, get here. We make the standard way. We need a get. And here I'm interested now. I have this one now here. Exactly this one I have. And now I say, give me your location, please. And here, how I do this. Here I ask with this node, because this one, I have it now. I ask now for location, get actor location. Of course, you can go for transformation as well, which means include location, rotation, and scale. So that would be interesting, more interesting actually, perhaps. But let's say just get location, actor location in this case, actor location. And with that, I have that, which means I don't need this hard-coded values. And let's comment this one out and write here created actors for target locations, something like that. All right, must be not too accurate. I hope you made it better than me. And now all steps are more or less defined. We have all steps defined here. We know exactly now what I did, but we have to test if this is working. But what happens now is I start. Okay, here's the box which will teleport me. This is the teleport, and he's teleporting me exactly there. Interesting is with this solution, I can now, without going in the blueprint here, and like before I would go here and change this one here. Now I don't really change this one here. Now I can just change this one in my scene where I want it and place it. Yeah, let's teleport here for test purposes. Teleport me here on the other side here. I can start this one and bang. Of course, keep in mind, that's very important also here. You saw the arrow before with the height. If you place, let's see if I can make this one not right, which means if you don't count the height, and here I make it intentionally here, that can cause a problem and it's not casting there. Let's see what happens. So here is my box again, and it's not working. You see, that is a problem you have to keep in mind, and that can cause a problem. The reason for that is my height of my character caused a collision anyhow with the bottom here, and then it's not working. Keep this in mind that you have test the height if you can really here, teleport here. So now I put it a little bit higher, and you see I'm here on the other side. So that was one version of teleporting. So teleports, and of course you have to refine this code, but we have talked now about this teleport node, which is really powerful. And like I said, remember, we can use this as well for hiding characters. I made a switching, for example, let me start this game fast. When I switch my character here, this version is spawning the character, but I made a version where I used the teleport node, and my character, F8, I go here down, was teleported here down the scene. It was teleported here just to hide it, and then I played the character, the first person character, and later I switched, and then the first person was teleported here down, hide again, and the other was here on top. So this teleport can use for many things. And with that said, I won't stop here. The teleport node, it's a very powerful, nice function, and used in many gameplays. There are many teleport games, and even Lyra starter game is also using this teleport version, I think. Anyhow, there are many games who use this teleport node, and very powerful node. With that said, if you have any questions or any complaints, like all time, write it in the comments, and see you in the next. Bye.